Welcome back to Cowboy and the Indian. I'm the Nooga Cowboy. He is Casey Crockett, the legend here at Crockett Power Sports in Chattanooga, Tennessee. If you've never been here, get out here. You're going to love these guys and gals, and they've got a great product here, as you can imagine. Today, we're going to take a look at the Indian, the 2020 Indian Chief Vintage. And as you can see, again, beautiful bikes everywhere. So Casey, why don't you tell us a little bit about this motorcycle?
As you said, Joe, this is the 2020 Indian Chief Vintage. It's powered by the Thunderstroke 111, which is putting out 119.2 foot-pounds of torque. New for this year on the Vintage, the 2020 got a new frame with a 25-degree rake. The previous models had a 28-degree rake. So this bike will actually turn a little sharper, do tighter figure eights, handles a little easier, a little more maneuverable. Another upgrade they did on the Vintage for this year is they put the air adjustable suspension. Previous models, the 14 up through the 19, had the monoshock that was adjusted by a spanner wrench. This model actually has the air adjustable monoshock. Still got your leather saddlebags, your passenger seat and pegs, quick release windshield. This motorcycle also has the 3 ride modes, the touring, the standard, and the sport mode. And you also have the rear cylinder deactivation, which you have on all the other heavyweight chiefs and the heavyweight chieftains and roadmasters. You can actually turn the rear cylinder deactivation on, and if it's hotter than 60 degrees and you get below 1,000 RPMs, it'll shut off the rear cylinder and pull cool air through there and help the motorcycle run cooler for you. But as soon as you're back on the gas, you're back firing on 2 cylinders. So very smooth ride, very powerful ride, very comfortable ride.
So there you go, the 2020 Indian Chief Vintage. Big shout out to Crockett Power Sports and Casey Crockett here for letting me take this bad boy out. Don't forget to follow us on the Facebook page, Cowboy and the Indian. You know what time it is now. It's money time. Let's go ride. Hello YouTube, the Nooga Cowboy here. And today we have the privilege of riding a 2020 Indian Chief Vintage. Absolutely love this motorcycle. So this is a big time, a big moment for me as a motorcycle rider. This is my first time riding a motorcycle with a windshield. So for those of you that watch the videos, you know my motorcycle is a 2019 Indian Scout 60, small motorcycle. No windshield, haven't put a windshield on it. So for me, yeah, this is the first time I get to feel what it's like riding one. And I always had those comments, man, wait till you ride one with a windshield, it makes a huge difference. You won't want to go back to the no windshield motorcycle. Okay. I wasn't believing all the hype. I'm sure it's going to make a difference, I was thinking. So I'm, I don't know, what, 4 minutes in to this test ride. And all those comments, all that nonsense I was hearing about windshields, 100% correct. 100% correct, man. What a difference. You don't have the wind just beating you down. And the smooth ride. This is a smooth riding motorcycle. So, yeah, thumbs up on the windshield. So we're going to see kind of grade this on performance, handling. You know what I think about the looks. I mean, just the Vintage, other than the bobber, is my favorite looking Indian motorcycle. It just is. Not going to make any apologies on that. So can we do a rolling 65? I'm kidding. Crockett Power Sports. Big shout out to them for allowing me to take this bad boy out. It's large and in charge. I mean, compared to some of the other bikes I've rode, the Springfield Dark Horse, probably the most comparative. And this feels, it's similar. You could say that the Dark Horse Springfield, the 2020, a little more power. But this, I mean, you're not going to lack for power. I mean, it's a freaking big bike. Around, I believe it's a little over 800 pounds wet with all the liquids in it. So it is a bigger bike than my Scout. My Scout coming in the mid 5s with all liquids. Get by that. We don't want anything happening there. I'll make the decision, not him. So once we get up here, kind of see what it's got. I mean, we're not going crazy. It's not sport bike world here. Kind of see what we got as far as performance goes. To handling, it's not a Scout. We know that, but it really responds well. It really responds well to, you know, diving into the corners. There you go, nice little pickup there. Not bad at all. Not sure how much you can really tell at that speed, but and it is a vintage, and that's again with the looks. That's kind of where I lean. Love the newer looking bikes too. I'll get the Challenger coming on board, so for Indian, looking forward to riding that one. That one's going to happen here pretty soon, so I can really judge the range of bikes that Indian has to offer, minus the FTR, and I'm sure I'll get to that eventually. But going from the Scout 60 to the Scout to the Bobber, we're all similar family, and then going to the Springfield Dark Horse, now to the Indian Chief Vintage, and you got the Springfield sprinkled in there, and you got some of the other bikes. Getting to the fairings, I never rode a bike with a fairing, so that's going to be the next move. This being my first bike, riding first bike with a windshield, a different experience. A very good experience so far. As you know, the Scout 60 Bobber, it's not something you want to take cross country. I mean, you can. You definitely can do that. Heck, I've even thought about doing it. Why not? Man up, let's go do it. Look at this guy. It's a good thing I'm on someone else's bike. Let's say that. So as I move up from the windshield to the fairing, I'll be able to give you guys, coming from a guy that has not rode windshield or fairings and just stick to old school type of bikes, kind of give you my take on what it feels like, what's the difference. And right now, the windshield difference is, well, I've always been told that once you go windshield, you never go back. I've never been told that, actually. It sounded good. But you don't want to go back. I mean, this is, I could just imagine going west. You're in Kansas where there's nothing but cornfields and maybe a gas station here and there. And if you're on a Scout, man, that butt's gonna hurt, back's gonna hurt. Well, you're riding this. This is a lazy boy on wheels. You're gonna be gassed every day. With this, it's just an easy ride. I mean, you can ride this thing for 300 miles and get off, get in your hotel room, go get something to eat, ride again. It's just that comfortable. This will probably be my next bike, to be honest with you. That or a sport bike. Why not just get both? I think I'll just get both. I'll start my GoFundMe account and you guys can help out on that. All donations are welcome. Even in these turns, even though it's not the tail of the dragon, but it handles the turns really well. There we go. Nicely done, Indian. Some good pickup there. Nice speed. So we're coming up, going to close out this ride momentous ride for me, not for you guys out there who are, you know, this is old hat for you. I've always been just straight old school motorcycle. Who needs a windshield? That's for old guys. Well, I guess I'm an old guy now. Because if you ride motorcycles every day or as much as you can, you ride it for distance. If you're just riding around town, a windshield's not going to be as important as if you're on the interstate for a good amount of time, or, you know, highways. You're really putting some miles on your motorcycle. This is the stock, obviously the stock windshield from Indian. I have looked into windshields for my Scout 60, and I have seen mixed reviews. I don't know. I haven't looked at reviews for this stock windshield for the Chief Vintage, so I don't really know, you know, what the word is out there about this one. A lot of people do not like the stock Indian for the Scout 60, but I don't know. I'm probably not going windshield. When I do, it'll be when I purchase one of these. For me, it just takes away from the look of the Scout. I don't think a Scout's meant to have a windshield on it. Just my opinion. Not downing people that do have one. So if we sum up this little test ride here, comfort, it does feel like a lazy boy on wheels. But I mean, to get an A+, I mean, you just gotta, it's not a Posturepedic by any means. I would give it a, I'm just comparing this to what I've rode, okay? I might say that the Dark Horse Springfield, the 2020 I've rode, you can check out that video, probably just barely more comfortable. So I would give this a B+ on comfort. Performance, I would give it an A-. I do really like the performance of the bike. You know, pickup and takeoff speed, nice. Give it a B- on that. So you can really dive into the corners here, and it does well, performs well. So I think you'll be okay there. It's not a Scout. It doesn't handle like a Scout, but for what you're getting, it handles well. So handling, I will give it a B+ on handling. Now the numbers might not add up, but I would give it a solid A-. Just a sharp looking bike. So there you go, 2020 Indian Chief Vintage. Magnificent. Just a work of art. I'll walk around the bike here so you can see Indian saddlebags. I mean, Picasso, I mean, who's that? What Polaris has done with the Indian brand's amazing. They really changed the game, made them more reliable, made them just a motorcycle you have to own. I know some of you Harley guys out there are going to stay Harley and stay loyal, and understand that. Totally get that. But if you're a motorcycle lover, then you need to own an Indian. I plan on maybe riding a Harley here and there so I can compare. But for me, when it comes to the touring bikes, I'm going to be Indian. And I didn't mention that it does have the touring, the standard, and the sport modes on this bike. So you really do, you get a lot. You get a lot when you buy this motorcycle. Make sure you join us on Facebook, Cowboy and the Indian. Tell your friends, tell them to subscribe. And we got more cool stuff coming up. The Challenger test ride, the Springfield test ride. Like I said, we might have to throw some Harley test rides in there. Got a lot of cool stuff coming up. So thank you for watching. Again, Facebook, Cowboy and the Indian. Thank you so much to Crockett Power Sports. And once again, until next time, I'm the Nooga Cowboy, and this is Cowboy and the Indian.